Better music. This is Q Radio, and someone has decided to come and help me along today because God knows I need it. Do you want to say hello?
Hello, this is Danny from the Coronas. How are you, Olga?
I'm great. So today, Danny has come up from Dublin to present the Q.
I'm very honoured to be here as a guest presenter, and thank you for letting me crash your show. I think we're going to have a bit of crack. I hope you don't mind that I've picked a few bands that I want to play. Is that all right?
That's absolutely fine. In fact, I'd be delighted. We were just having an old natter about the old days, and you were my first band I ever interviewed. And
that's so funny. It's hard to believe a few years ago now, but we won't tell.
I was a right spoofer, wasn't I, back then?
I'm still a spoofer, so it's all good.
So what kind of stuff have you got for us tonight? We're going to play some great tunes between now and 1 a.m.
Yeah, well, basically, I mean, I always am a big supporter of Irish music in general, and there's so much amazing young Irish acts out there. So on the drive up, I was just sort of thinking about a few different acts and jotted down a few things, and so it's basically just music that I like, So that was the reason why I was delighted to join you for this, So I think it's a cool idea, and it's great to get behind Irish music.
And it's incredible to have a platform to be able to play tracks from here.
Absolutely. Well, I think the Coronas have been blessed really with the radio play that we've gotten up here, and so we're delighted to sort of encourage that for other bands as well. And as I say, it's a really strong time for the Irish music scene. So it's good to be able to play a few tunes from it.
I tell you what, no better way. Shall we kick off?
Okay, can I just say for the record, I did not pick this one. Okay, I wouldn't pick my own songs. But yeah, it's a good way to start the show.
Well, why not? I mean, yeah, I picked this playlist. This is the Coronas.
Just in case people are going like, who the hell is the Coronas? So here's one of our songs.
So this is the Coronas, and this is Give Me a Minute on Q Radio. Better music. This is Q Radio. Hello, I'm Olga Kaye.
And I'm Danny O'Reilly from the Coronas.
And we're here playing some great tunes tonight. And Danny's been really kind and coming to help me pick some music. And I've been hibernating for the last couple of years. So tell me about the Irish music scene. This particular artist I think you've picked is...
He's had a pretty amazing couple of years. He's like, his streaming numbers are incredible. And Gavin is a funny guy because he's been on the scene for a good few years, but really just in the last couple of years it's taken off, and we've known him for a good few years, and I'm so happy that for the success he's had in the last 12 months especially, his name is Gavin James, and he's a lovely ginger-haired, friendly, smiley man, and I'm so proud of him, and he's a good friend of mine. So this is his brand new song. It's called Hearts on Fire on Q Radio.
This is Q Radio. Foster the People. Pumped Up Kicks. Do you like Foster the People?
Yeah, that's a great tune. I don't really know much of their other stuff. They were a little bit of a one-hit wonder really with that song, but that's a serious tune. It's great. And
speaking of someone who's definitely not going to be a one-hit wonder, and if you say such things, she'll bop you.
She'll get her older brother to bop you.
Yeah, you've brought some great tunes with you, and one of them happens to be your sister.
Yes, I have to always look after the family.
Absolutely.
And I'm very proud of Roisin, my sister. For your listeners who don't know her, she's an amazing singer-songwriter, and she's released some tunes over the last 12 months. She's starting a new project now, which is called Thanks Brother, but I'm going to play one of my favourite songs of hers now. This is Roisin O with Better This Way on Q Radio.
This is Q Radio.
Hey, let's start that again.
He's sleeping. No, I'm only joking. He's not.
I want to back announce. Let me back announce. Okay. This is Q Radio. That was the script with The Man Who Can't Be Moved. That's my best radio voice. What do you think?
It was getting there.
I'm gone too sort of old school DJ.
No, can I ask you something? I felt compelled there to call you Daniel. Is Daniel your name?
Daniel's my name when I'm in trouble. Yeah. It was the perfect timing. Daniel, wake up.
I was actually about to go, Daniel, are you there?
Yeah.
But of course the script, you supported them, didn't you? Up
we
here?
did. We played up here in the Waterfront with them a good few years ago now, and way back when, and the great guys.
Give us some dirt.
You know what? They are such lovely lads. Like, they're really, really, really good guys, and they work really hard. That was one thing that we were sort of, I suppose, at the time when we were first on tour with them, we were only starting off, and we couldn't believe how much they were working with regards of doing radio and doing promo, and during the day backstage they'd be on the phone doing phone interviews, and that was, for us, it was like, wow, you've already sold out all these venues and you're still doing phone interviews and trying to make it bigger, and and I think that sort of resonated with us, but they're great lads, great band.
You're very loyal to your fans, and your fans are very loyal to you, because I know here in Belfast every year it is the word on the street, when are the Coronas coming to the Ulster Hall? And it's like a thing now, and you come back every year.
They're great gigs. That's not a hard decision for us to come back. I think it's an Irish thing though in general. Like if you look at really successful actors who are Irish, like the likes of Saoirse Ronan, Michael Fassbender, they all seem to be very down to earth, and I think that's just an Irish thing in general. Like, successful people from Ireland are normal enough because they'll be taken down a peg or two.
I think it could be like a family thing. I mean, I grew up one of 7. Nobody was special, but everybody was trying to be special.
Exactly.
So that moment when you bop your head above the parapet and you think you're a wee bit more special, it's like, down you go.
and thankfully I've got some great people around me to tell me when I'm getting a bit of a lead singer ego, and my diva lead singer is coming out, so I think that's important to me.
What kind of things could we do today to push that out of you, Danny? Is there
well, for a start, we could play more Corona songs.
Absolutely. And I've actually picked this song, and there's a reason I've picked this song. I've got an ulterior motive.
Okay.
I'd really like my husband, if he could, to go and watch the video because there's a Hoover in it. And I love it. It's so sweet.
It's a love story between two Hoovers. It's one of. I think it's a nice video. We're proud of it.
And possibly there should be a follow up made about it.
A sequel.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the Coronas, and just like that on Q Radio. This is Q Radio. In the studio today, I have Danny O'Reilly. He's here helping me along. And
still here. Can't get rid of me.
Oh, I need it. Anyway, you're a bit of an old pro in radio, you were telling me.
Not at all, no.
He presented his own show.
Well, I think present is a stretch, I think.
Oh, come on. He's very humble as well.
Yeah, no, that was fun. I've done a few little bits here and there, but this is still new to me. But I love it. Thank you so much for having me, Olga. You're very good.
We've got some more pretty funky little tunes tonight. We're going to play Walking on Cars. Tell us about Walking on Cars.
They're a great band from Dingle in County Kerry. Good friends of ours. We played with them a lot over the years, and really, really great guys, great musicians. They've had an amazing couple of years, and I know they're working on their second album at the moment. So hopefully, this year and next year will be really busy for them again. And they've they're just sometimes when you come across bands when you're starting off, and they're a band that we sort of came across a long time ago.
Well, they've been around like in the early days. Like how long have Walking in Cars been around?
I remember they supported us, and they were only really starting just when Close to You was coming out. So that was our 2011. Mm-hmm. Just before they were just about to start then. Mm-hmm. So they have been around for a few years now. I think their album only came out maybe a year and a half ago. This song in particular is a brilliant track.
See, I love this song.
Pa's voice is just really easy to listen to, and it's really, really cool groove in it, and I think it's really sort of well produced, simple, and sounds great, yeah. So
I'll let you take it away then.
This is Walking on Cars with Speeding Cars on Q Radio.
Q Radio. Jonas Blue, Mama. And another track that we're going to play in just a second, probably, is it fair to say Wicklow's finest?
Yeah, very, very, very good of you to know that, because sometimes people think Hosier is from Dublin, but he is a Wicklow man.
Is he from Bray?
I think he's actually from further out in is it Enniscorthy or
right, it could be
around that area, but
up in the mountains of Glendalough.
Yeah, exactly, somewhere around there.
There he was found with the guitar.
Exactly. But he has that vibe to him, doesn't he? Hosier is amazing, and it's definitely a haunting voice. It's amazing. I remember meeting him for the first time. I've only met him a couple of times. He's a lovely, lovely guy. But Andrew, he's quite sort of timid. Like he's not, even though he's tall, and he's taller than I am, and I'm quite tall. But he's sort of very, I don't want to say shy, but definitely timid, and he wouldn't take over a room with charisma. But when he starts singing, it's just like wow, and his voice is bigger than anything, and you
were actually with him on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we did this busk thing, the charity busk with Glenn Hansard.
Yes,
and a
tell
couple
me
of people.
about that.
Yeah, it was amazing. Roisin came down as well, my sister, and Hudson Taylor, who we're going to play later in the hour. Harry from Hudson Taylor was down there, and it was just amazing. Glenn asks me every Christmas now for the last few years. He gives me a text the day before Christmas Eve. Are you around tomorrow for a few songs? And I'm always home for Christmas, and I love it. I'm such a big fan of Glenn Hansard and the Frame. So whenever he asks me to do anything, I'm going to agree to it. But so he asked me to come down, and Andrew was there, and he got up and sang a song. And it was properly organised this year, because they've done it a couple of times on Grafton Street, and it's been no microphones, and it's just been crowds of people hoping to get a glimpse at Bono, who sometimes shows up. But this year they had
no Bono this year,
but they had a proper stage. They had me, yeah. They had a proper stage, and they had a little microphone, and the crowds it was up in front of the Gaiety Theatre there, and it was really, really nicely organised. We had Paul Noonan from Bell X1, another amazing band, Liam Wanley from Hot House Flowers.
And lots of money raised for charity as well.
Loads of money, but it's more about awareness, and it's about something just, I think, on Christmas Eve to just create awareness for the Simon community, which is the homeless charity that it's, you know, connected to, and the Peter McVerry Trust. So it's sort of it's a cool thing to just get involved in after you're finished your Christmas shopping and you have a hot whiskey and you go down and do a few songs and a bit of busking, and it's just a nice thing to do, like, you know.
So we're going to play some Hosier in just a second. We'll play that song, you know, the one about Take Me to Church.
Definitely, yeah. It's a great tune.
We'll play it next on Q Radio. The Thrills with Big Sur, evoking fond memories, Danny.
Yeah, I love that song. It's so good. So good. And it's sort of funny because it reminds me of, you know, I think some songs, like, people say that about, as you said earlier on about our song San Diego, it takes them back to a time, you know, and that song takes me back to a time when we were in college and we were just starting the band out, and I remember hearing One Horse Town, the Thrills' first single, on the radio.
That's a great song.
Yeah, and it just jumped out of the speakers, and I was just like, you know, you can do it. And I think that they definitely inspired us. And our drummer Connor is still a big fan of the Thrills, and he loves their albums. Like, you know, they had 3 albums I think before they stopped making music, but great band, and that song still sounds great out of the radio.
Because there's so many, we were just actually talking about Snow Patrol as well, and saying about bands that just, you go places with them in your life, and Snow 100%. Patrol. Yeah, so me and Danny both agree that it's ready for a new Snow Patrol album.
Yeah, it's time. I think they're so good, you know, and they've I mean, Gary's voice is just incredible. I was always a huge Snow Patrol fan, like, you know, and I think like people can spot that in early Corona's albums as well, you know, but but it's funny, as you said, there's bands like that who were well established when we were first started, and now we're sort of not a new band anymore, which is funny, you know, because we still sort of consider ourselves, you know, getting away with it, a new band, but we're not.
The thing is about you guys, you get away with it. You've got that cheeky charisma thing going on, the whole lot of you. Now Danny's here on his own today, but the rest of you're
I know,
you're a great bunch. Good
we
crack.
are. I miss the boys. But
so tell us about Hudson Taylor.
Lovely, 2 brothers. I met them when I first moved to London. I met them, and they were only 19 and 17. They were only
Are you
young
still
lads.
in London, by the way?
No, I live in Dublin now. So moved back a couple of years ago. But I loved living in London. Lived there for about 3 or 4 years, and I met the boys over there, and they're just 2 lovely brothers from Monkstown, Dublin, and just, you know, the first time I met them, they actually they played this song for me, and it was amazing, you know.
Because they probably really looked up to you guys, did they?
Yeah, well, it's funny.
You would have been like their heroes.
I think they definitely sort of wanted to impress, like, you know, but they did, you know, they were really good. And then it was funny because we had this moment there where they played me this new song, and then I played them a couple of new Corona songs that I had been working on at the time, and we just sort of hung out, and we ended up writing together. I co-wrote a song and on their album, and we've done little bits together as well. So it's nice to sort of really, you know, because I think when you're in a band, it's unlike a lot of other jobs, and it's nice to have proper friendships with other musicians, as opposed to me just name dropping Hosier, who is not really a friend of mine, but I know he's a lovely guy. But you know, I would consider the Hudson Taylor lads good friends of mine. No, it's just slagging myself there. But will I go for it?
Which track are you going to play?
Well, I'm going to go for the one off their first album. This is a song called Chasing Rubies. This is Hudson Taylor on Q Radio. Picture this with Never Change. This is Danny O'Reilly on Q Radio with my special guest presenter Olga.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'll take that place. Actually, that's quite good. Because you're doing such a good job. I think you're going to get rid of me. I'm starting to get those panicky feelings. You know, like an insecure DJ.
No,
it'll be all over Facebook tonight.
There's no danger of that, Olga. Thank you so much for having me in. I appreciate you letting me come in and play my favourite tunes, and it's been really, really fun. So
I know it's been great to catch up and see what you've been up to and what you've been listening to in the last while. Of course, coming back to Northern Ireland. Yes, when?
Of course, yeah. Well, I mean, that's half the reason why I'm happy to come up here. We love coming up here. So we're going to be, we're definitely going to be doing a Corona show here at Christmas, as we always do in December. But we're hoping, I can't confirm it yet, but we're hoping to be back up in the summer for a festival. So.
I'd say that there's a big festival in Belfast. They would be having you along.
Well, fingers crossed they will. But I'm sure we'll be back up before Christmas again. We're just about to head off to America, and then we're going to Australia and Scandinavia as well, as we were saying. But then we have our big show of the summer in Dublin on July 21st. Very good. You knew better than me.
Well, the reason I know is because I was thinking, am I going to be in Greece? No, that's in June.
Oh, very good. Fair play to you.
I'll be back.
Nice. Yeah, well, you're welcome. You're welcome, of course. July 21st in the 3 Arena in Dublin. So that'll be our big show in Dublin.
Maybe right now you're sitting and you're thinking, I want to do something different when I finish the exams, or you just want to let out. Maybe you've just finished your university time, or you're about to take a gap year. Kick it off with that gig in Dublin, 21st of July, SSE Arena.
Nice plug, Olga.
It'll go down in history. Good stuff.
Great.
And while you're there, get the new album is called
exactly Trust the Wire. Yeah, no, it's and then maybe, who knows, I can come back and start my radio presenting career after all that.
Yeah, you'll be up here. They'll be having you up next week.
Exactly. And I'll bring all the rest of the lads with me next time we'll play a song, right?
Good stuff. That will be fantastic. Well, look, thanks again, Danny. Thanks for coming and helping me. Just getting back into it again. This is going to be the place where you can come and you can hear great artists from this island. Artists that you maybe have wondered, why have I not heard about them? And then all of a sudden you're hearing them and you're going, something good in your ears.
It's good.
Thanks again, Danny. And we'll leave the door open.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks, Olga. See you next time.
Good night. This is Q Radio.